So, what you experienced as the light, did you feel you became one with it, or did you feel it was part of you, or how did you interact with it?
I did become one with the light. When it appeared, when it came into my field of vision and was kind of everywhere, it did come toward me, and I also went out toward it. I mean, my field of consciousness, my spirit, whatever I was in that dimension, I could feel reaching out for it too, until we did totally merge. And that's when the ecstasy started, and the rapture and the bliss. And I had no thoughts. It is so intense. You're just there in it and experiencing intense ecstasy. Yeah. And yet, well, I still wasn't having any thoughts of my own. I had a couple of blocks of knowledge come into me while I was merged with the light. And one of them was, and it all came in one piece, not in discrete sentences, but just all of a piece. I knew that I was immortal, that I was eternal, that I was totally safe, that nothing could ever happen to me, that I couldn't fall off the universe or into a crack in the universe. It was just total safety and total knowledge of my eternalness. I knew that I always had existed and that I always would exist. But these were not thoughts of mine. These were what was coming into me. This was what was being given to me. Another block of knowledge came in that told me that, in effect, all is well. There is a perfect plan. There is a perfect plan, and I remember this phrase, and the plan is working itself out in its perfection. And this is while I was still merged with the light. So, yeah, you do become one with it.
So what happens to you, your I, your personality, in that oneness?
I was not aware of my I, the I-ness of me. As long as I was merged, I was like a receiving station. I just simply received. I received love. I received knowledge. I just received and received. When I had reached a state of such ecstasy and bliss, I suddenly had my very first thought. And that thought was, I wonder how much more of this I can stand until I shatter. I just couldn't take any more. But I didn't shatter, because the way it works is the light began to dissipate and the intensity of the experience began to dissipate a bit. And I went down, that's a silly way to put it. I went maybe sideways, who knows, but I went out of the intensity where I wasn't aware even of who I was or what I was, into suddenly finding myself in a beautiful green meadow and knowing who I was and knowing that I had died, knowing what had happened to me. So in my case anyway, when I was merged with the light, my personality, my knowing that I am Jane, just wasn't part of it.